Him to time it back over the bowler's head, the way he timed the 2 sixes over the leg side in the first over, but not on that occasion.
That one's beaten him for pace and maybe lack of bounce. That's what Heinrich Nortje brings it to the equator. 145 kilometers per hour, and it's pretty skiddy at times. Looks like he was expecting it around about chest high, and only got maybe through to about waist high.
As you mentioned, being skiddy, he is a fairly tall bowler, but you don't get that kind of tennis ball bounces at pace, but it kind of skids through and hurries you even more.
Cleans him up, straight through, 147 kilometers per hour, and Heinrich Nortje is working the oracle here for South Africa.
They miss, you hit. One of the old adages in cricket, and Heinrich Nortje lives by it. Top of middle and off. 148 Ks. Shanto not up to the task. Gone for 9.
मॉडल वाले बालों के लिए मॉडल वाला शैम्पू. For hair fall, Pantene is my choice.
इसमें है fermented rice water और प्रोविटामिन फॉर्मूला जो सिर्फ 14 दिन में हेयर फॉल कम करे. Pantene.
वर्ल्ड कप है तो तमाशा तो पूरा पाकिस्तान देखेगा. आज ही वीकली सुपर मैक्स सब्सक्राइब करो और तमाशा ऐप पर लाइव क्रिकेट देखो मस्त होके. तमाशा मस्त वॉच.
To bring you a world-class journey, we dreamed higher. Qatar Airways, going places together.
To the crease. South Africa on the full-out attack. Slip cordon in place now all of a sudden. And top of the stumps is a great delivery, particularly when people are trying to carve your way. And once again, it's the 45-degree bat angle from the Bangladesh openers, which I think is the cause of their downfall. That's with a straight bat. There's a chance that pops over the infield.
And with the field up, you are afforded a few more allowances for good cricket shots, and they haven't decided to use those allowances.
There's the pace, 150 kilometers per hour the last 2 days.
वर्ल्ड कप है तो तमाशा तो पूरा पाकिस्तान देखेगा. आज ही मंथली मैक्स सब्सक्राइब करो और तमाशा ऐप पर लाइव क्रिकेट देखो.
Find a bit of rhythm, build a partnership. In T20 cricket, you can't spend too many balls trying to build. You just need to find a way to score. Fortunately, they have 2 overs and 3 balls left of the power play. How can you maximize it? How can you turn the skyline as beautiful as the one we're seeing here, the Sydney skyline with the Harbour Bridge to the right? How can Bangladesh have their graph looking similar? Climb into it. Hazlitt and Das.
Away of Tim Bavuma, but he's picked him out and got through for the single. So that's a good over for Bangladesh, 36 for 2.
To bring you a world-class journey, we dreamed higher. Qatar Airways, going places together.
New Pampers Pants, they rush protection. क्योंकि इसमें है लोशन एलोवेरा के साथ और मैजिक जेल जो गीलेपन को रखे लॉक. रैपर न्यू पैम्पर्स पैंट्स, दे रश प्रोटेक्शन ऑल डे एंड नाइट.
मिर्ची तो अब सबको लगेंगी क्योंकि मैकडॉनल्ड्स लाया नया हॉट एंड क्रिस्पी बर्गर.
His figures so far, that's beautifully placed. We showed the graphic. There's often about 12 or 10 meters to try and thread it through if you go along the ground, and he's done it successfully. Now, any of you who've joined in a little bit late, come on this afternoon, Riley Rousseau was absolutely superb. Back-to-back hundreds in T20 cricket for him. He played brilliantly from the outset. Set a wonderful tone at the top of the order and went on to finish with 109. First 100 for South Africa in T20 Men's World Cup. It's been quite tight on that off stump. Both the left-handers and the right-handers, Nortje, has hit the ground running.
That has been the difference from a bowling perspective. You see the fantasy points, Riley Rousseau, head and shoulders above everyone else, as you'd expect. In a sensational century.
It's nicely pulled away, and they're considering coming back for the second, but it's David Miller out there fielding in the one bit of shade on the ground. Yeah, Shakib Al Hasan, he's got 52 points. All Bangladesh fans will be saying, okay, come on, you're the man, you're the one who has to be there for this big score. Get us as close as possible to getting over the line. Last delivery from Nortje, another 150 kilometre an hour delivery. FIFA, Mossadegh, Sohan, Mahedi, they're still to come to the crease. Oh, that could be close. I think that's good. Yes, it is. The finger goes up, and that's 3 for Nortje. Really is putting a fantastic spell together. And this could be the big wicket of Shakib Al Hasan. Having a word with the on-field umpire, but he's heading off. So I think he's happy to accept the decision, and he's on his way.
Looked for a moment as though he reviewed it, but he's walked quite a way across. Struck in front. The only question is where it was pitching, but Anrich Nortje celebrates, and rightly so. What a performance thus far with the ball in hand. 3 for 4 he has. Bangladesh still.
New always 0% leak worries, 0% odor worries, 100% herbal freshness.
हम ना कुछ गलत बताते हैं ना छुपाते, वही कहते हैं जो निभाते। इसीलिए इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ जुबली लाइफ से।
क्रिकेट है तो लेज है।
मिर्चें तो अब सबको लगेंगी, क्योंकि मैकडॉनल्ड्स आया नया हॉट एंड क्रिस्पी बर्गर।
इंश्योर पिए, भरपूर जिंदगी जिए।
हम ना कुछ गलत बताते हैं ना छुपाते, वही कहते हैं जो निभाते। इसीलिए इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ जुबली लाइफ से।
आ गया नया एरियल ब्लू फॉर्मूले के साथ, जो गिराएगा धूल, मिट्टी और पसीने के दागों की हर दीवार।
हमारा रहबर सबसे बेहतर।
And why wouldn't you? Anrich Nortje has been absolutely fantastic. Oh, that's quick, and it's cleared the keeper and gone away to the boundary. It's going to be adjudged as bars. There was always the chance that it might have been wides, but it was a pretty well directed bounce in all honesty. And that was 154 kilometers per hour, that last one. So plenty of pace from Anrich Nortje.
Such a joy to watch. Fast bowler steaming in and around, and sometimes even upwards of 150 k's an hour. He's putting on a clinic, Anrich Nortje.
Yeah, proper pace. Last 4 of the last 5 have been over 150. And this could be close. In fact, that one's pretty similar, but probably also pretty.
बर वक्त अदायगी बहुत आसान, इसीलिए इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ जुबली लाइफ से।
थम सके ना जो बने वो तूफान, आजा बने वो तूफान। सारा खून पसीना और ये जान जनून के नाम।
Second opportunity from the Randwick end. So a big step across it was. Sean Pollock mentioned the head position there. Really tough to hit any delivery when you're so out of alignment, but more to the point, chose not to review, and that's the point Shakib Al Hassan realised. Should have backed my instinct. He made inquiries to the umpire, Rod Tucker, as he walked off, but he didn't have the conviction to go with it through fear of wasting a review. He'll regret that at the moment. Atta Ali Khan, it's a tough position. Where are they going to find some runs from?
Well, at the moment, the batters in the middle, they'll be hoping that Afif Hussain and Lichin Kumar Das, who's already moved on to 13 of just 10 deliveries, that's 6. Ensure that they have some sort of partnership in between Afif and Lichon. I still feel it's a good pitch to bat on. They do struggle against pace because the fact that back home we play on less bouncier tracks. That's one of the reasons why I have been saying it out. Look at a lovely sight, isn't it? Beautiful.
There's an example of that bounce, and it's going to cost South Africa a run and an extra delivery. You observed that harbour from an interesting angle earlier, or yesterday, was it? And you'd like to tell our viewers exactly what you got up to?
It was day before yesterday. I went on a boat cruise on the Darlington Harbour.
Oh, just bounces in front. Good athleticism there from the bowler.
Well picked up of his own bowling, and the time was perfect. It was we got on the boat at like 5 o'clock in the evening, and spent some time. It was glittering, especially in the evening, late evenings. Just a wow factor around the Sydney Harbour.
Catchett's the call, mid-off, runs in and takes it, accepts it very easily. Wayne Parnell. So again, some pace, some bounce. It's getting up towards 140 kilometres per hour, and Bangladesh, their struggles against this intimidating bowling continue.
Scoreboard pressure and losing early wickets. Have a look at that bounce, how high, steep, and he gets in a wrong position to play that shot, Afif Hussain, and a well-judged catch in the end from Wayne Parnell. So another wicket falls. This time is Kagiso Rawala who sends back out Afif Hussain. Gone for one.
सेफगार्ड से नहाना, जर्म्स दूर भगाना।
इसका बाकायदा इस्तेमाल करें, खुश्की के जर्म्स पर असर 100% तक। खुश्की मिटाए, कंधे से
फैंस दे रश प्रोटेक्शन, क्योंकि इसमें है लोशन एलोवेरा के साथ और मैजिक जेल जो गीलेपन को रखे लॉक रात भर। न्यू पैम्पर्स फैंस दे रश प्रोटेक्शन ऑल डे एंड नाइट।
बस 3 मिनट, क्योंकि वीट से मुझे मिले पार्लर जैसी सिल्की स्मूथ स्किन एट होम। इस वेडिंग सीजन रहे हमेशा रेडी विद वीट, जस्ट वीट।
दोस्ती की इसी मिठास के लिए बना है कैंडी। कैंडी में वो खास मिठास है जो किसी और में कहाँ।
Last ball of the power play. And that's a fine over. It's 4 runs conceded, but the...
To bring you a world-class journey, we dreamed higher. Qatar Airways, going places together.
हमारे पैनल पे मौजूद पाकिस्तान के कई मयारी हॉस्पिटल्स आपके लिए बेशुमार बीमारियों का बेहतरीन इलाज मुमकिन बना रहे हैं। इसीलिए इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ जुबली लाइफ से।
थैंक यू उन दोस्तों के लिए जो दोस्तों में हमेशा कुछ खास देखते हैं।
Struggled. Keshav Maharaj, ranking of 11 in ICC T20 international rankings. And when you lose early wickets, looking to chase a big total, because it is a big total which South Africa got, 205 for 5. You wanted your top order to go and score heavily. That was not the case. That's the last wicket. Afif Hussein's. Nicely judged in the end. Again, that bounce. Not comfortable for the Bangladesh top order.
Yeah, bounce and pace. Just hurried up.
Just going back to the innings from South Africa, 205. I thought perhaps Shakib Al Hasan could have come a little earlier when that big partnership was in progress between Riley Russo and Quinton de Kock. He bowled 1 over when those two were batting. But I thought maybe he could have come a little bit earlier, because the last 5, they really got back in the game. (29 for 3 of the last 5). So it's got back nicely in the last 5, Bangladesh.
Previous single brought up the 50, and they'll push hard here for 2, but some good work by Maharaj to tidy up his own bowling there. It's on Das. He's on 16. He's relatively composed. Hasn't really been able to get too aggressive in his psyche, just due to the amount of wickets falling at the other end. Tries to create something. A bit of movement at the crease, but...
Free food is all.
तो download McDonald's app.
Olivia Moisturizing Cleansing Milk Lotion मेरी स्किन को रखे healthy, moisturized and beautiful. Olivia, शुक्रिया.
हम ना कुछ गलत बताते हैं ना छुपाते, वही कहते हैं जो निभाते। इसीलिए इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ जुबली लाइफ से।
Here's Ngidi. High again, catch. It's a call. The sun in the eyes of the deep backward square settles, and that may have played a big part in that going down. Was it Stubbs? Young man is well equipped, well prepared, but that's tough bit of positioning for him. Bounce and pace again, unable to be controlled, but you could see straight away for Tristan Stubbs, he had his hand up, shielding his face from the western sun there. Yeah, I don't think you can do much more really, Atar, with the sun there. You've got the sunglasses on, but if you're looking directly at the sun, it's impossible to judge.
Yeah, well, just thinking the players do have the sunglasses on, but still they struggle to pick the ball up. It's the sun and the light straight away into your eye. Can be very, very difficult.
Let's run down to third man for a single, and down in that region is Sean Pollock on the sideline. How are the conditions down there? Enjoying the sunshine, Polly?
Oh,
Yeah, well run. That's the way. That's the perfect way just to build a little bit of momentum when you're in such a hole.
Not easy. Not easy for Bangladesh batters at the moment. Once you start losing early wickets, it gets so very difficult. Yes, there is Mr. Hussain who played a cameo. 20 of 12 deliveries against the Netherlands to ensure they got on to 144. Then Noor Hassan Chauhan, the wicketkeeper. At the moment, it's not easy. Not easy to pick up the boundary. So it's important that they keep on rotating the strike. Couple of runs in the first delivery of this over.
Quinton de Kock just looked like he might have taken a little knock on the finger there. And a little bit of discomfort on that throw. It was a bit of a road throw. Nasty position. And Polly Shamsi will be into this attack very soon, back into the team for this fixture. He adds a nice bit of variation to that well-balanced lineup.
he does in these time of the innings when you've got wickets down, they're behind the 8 ball, they have to kind of play shots straight away. He's a real handful. That one's flicked away, will bounce short of KG. But that's where he comes into his own. He's got those variations, and then particularly as he gets into the lower to bottom order, he really does do an effective job, because he comes in and he can mix things up and pick up some wickets.
Yeah, definitely a bit of discomfort there for the wicket-keeper.
Yeah, the required run rate now is 12.99. Originally it was 10.3. So if Bangladesh is thinking of getting close to the target, they would also need to look at the boundaries. You know.
That's tidy bowling. Tough to do too much with. They're on the back foot, Bangladesh, after 9, 61 for 4.
To bring you a world-class journey, we dreamed higher. Qatar Airways, going places together.
क्रिकेट है तो लेज है।
पॉलिसी मैच्योर होने पर क्लेम्स की बरवक्त अदायगी बहुत आसान, इसीलिए इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ जुबली लाइफ से।
Let your house glow with Weather Code Glow 365. Berger Paints, trusted worldwide.
दोस्ती की इसी मिठास के लिए बना है कैंडी। कैंडी में वो खास मिठास है जो किसी और में कहाँ।
बताते हैं ना छुपाते, वही कहते हैं जो निभाते, इसीलिए
They're in the dominant position today, and here is the left arm wrist spinner. Got a bag of tricks.
Yeah, with his inclusion in the 11 for South Africa, it just opened up the combination, the variety that it offers. You have the Keshav Maharaj as a spinner, left arm orthodox, and then you have this left arm wrist spins for Tabriz Shamshi. It's really, I think it's a really good inclusion to get someone going, especially in these kind of surveys, especially in Sydney. They've got to try to attack now, Gilly, I reckon, because you really don't want to leave it too late. I know you're still very far off from the target, 143 from 64 deliveries, but the intent needs to be there.
Yeah, the cover field has crept in really close on the single, so if you can manoeuvre anything over the top, there's a lot of space on the offside. So you're out on the harbour, on the boat. That's what we got to. Push for two, but some good leg work on the boundary. But equal to the task was Das to get back for a second. And then you decided you got a bit more adventurous, I hear.
I did, Gilly. I always wanted to go on top of the historic Sydney Harbour Bridge, and managed to do that yesterday. Fantastic feeling.
Climb the top.
Yep, right at the top. Really good experience.
Well, tried to be aggressive, and it's looks like it's going to fall straight to deep long off. Settles and taken nicely. Aidan Markram looking a little bit to the west, but not impeded by the sun. So Mahidi tried to put the pressure back on the spinner, and Shamsi straight back into the team and straight back into the wickets.
Yeah, looking to play a big shot. Doesn't really get underneath it, and all he manages to do is hit it towards that field. Good use of the feet, but still not going to the pitch at the delivery. And the ball, the bat also not hitting from the middle. Easy, too easy in the deep. Madison Mara departs for 11:66 for 5, and it's time for drinks.
पेश है नया जिलेट ब्लू 3 फ्लेक्सी, अब सुपर लॉक पैक में। इंश्योर पिए, भरपूर जिंदगी जिए।
थम सके ना जो बने वो तूफान, आजा बने वो तूफान। सारा खून पसीना और ये जान जुनून के नाम।
वर्ल्ड कप है तो तमाशा तो पूरा पाकिस्तान देखेगा। आज ही मंथली मैक्स सब्सक्राइब करो और तमाशा ऐप पर लाइव क्रिकेट देखो मस्त होके। तमाशा मस्त वॉच।
Free food is all. तो डाउनलोड McDonald's app.
क्रिकेट है
तो लेज है।
पॉलिसी मैच्योर होने पर क्लेम्स की बर वक्त अदायगी बहुत आसान, इसीलिए इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ जुबली लाइफ से।
To bring you a world-class journey, we dreamed higher. Qatar Airways, going places together.
टपाल दानेदार, दे बेहतरीन रंग, खुशबू और जायका, तो फिर जल्दी दार।
थम सके ना जो बने वो तूफान, आजा बने वो तूफान। सारा खून पसीना और ये जान जुनून के नाम।
शुक्रिया।
हुई ना बात, आगे बढ़ो, खुल के बैंकिंग करो। बैंक अल्फा, द वे फॉरवर्ड।
And it features Tamim Iqbal.
Into the gap. And that's a magnificent innings. He absolutely is loving every moment of it, jumping up in the air.
$180 for 2 is what they managed, and then Oman just 65 for 9. Could say it was pretty one-sided. Now Bangladesh has got to reverse that happening against them just now. 66 for 5 in pursuit of 200 plus. Liton Das, Musaddiq at the crease. It's now a nice evening, Dale, to be South African.
Yeah, the sun's come out. Would have been a lovely afternoon on Bondi Beach, but I'm happy to be at the cricket right now.
I thought you might talk about the Durban waterfront. The Braze Shamsi. Oh, beautifully bowled. I think you could say he didn't read it. 66 for 5.
पाकिस्तान देखेगा। आज ही वीकली सुपर मैक्स सब्सक्राइब करो और तमाशा ऐप पर लाइव क्रिकेट देखो।
इसीलिए इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ जुबली लाइफ से।
दोस्ती की इसी मिठास के लिए बना।
Maharaj with his third. He's got just none for 10. If needed, they could turn to Aiden Markram and to Tristan Stubbs.
Yeah, Tristan Stubbs can roll the arm over. Aiden's been really good at times, but these two are going to look to squeeze a couple overs. As we see a great shot there. Keshav just dragging that one down a little bit short. Litton Das quickly onto it. A wonderful shot here for one bounce 4.
He's had a wonderful last few months, Liton Das. We saw Tamim Iqbal a little while ago. I'd like to believe Liton Das is actually the proper successor. Now goes offside. Probably Bangladesh's best T20 batsman at the moment. It's certainly someone around whom they'd want to build their team, as Mushfiqur Rahim has already left them. We don't know how much longer Shakib will be around to shore up that middle order. Oh, stumped by a mile. Stumped by a mile is Musaddiq.
Quinny de Kock taking one. Can sometimes rush you a little bit when the batters run down the wicket like that. Musaddiq having to go. Bangladesh kind of behind the game here right now. Need to speed things up. Looking to take on the spinners. Kesh didn't want to just spin a little bit more than usual past the outside edge, and Quinny does an easy stumping at the end of the day. South Africa picked up his 6th wicket, and Bangladesh are 71 for 6.
आ गया नया एरियल ब्लू फॉर्मूले के साथ, जो गिराएगा धूल, मिट्टी और पसीने के दागों की हर दीवार।
पॉलिसी मैच्योर होने पर क्लेम्स की बरवक्त अदायगी बहुत आसान, इसीलिए इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ जुबली लाइफ से।
वर्ल्ड कप है तो तमाशा तो पूरा पाकिस्तान देखेगा। आज ही मंथली मैक्स सब्सक्राइब करो और तमाशा ऐप पर लाइव क्रिकेट देखो मस्त होके। तमाशा मस्त वॉच।
दोस्ती की इसी मिठास के लिए बना है कैंडी। कैंडी में वो खास मिठास है जो किसी और में कहां।
ओलिविया, शुक्रिया।
हमारा रहबर सबसे बेहतर।
Good bowling this by Kesh. Musadek just a touch shorter, as I've become used to with Kesh. Appreciating every wicket and celebrating every wicket.
1 for 16 so far. And 1 for 17 it will probably be by the time they finish. They'll contemplate a second and they'll get that too. So 1 for 18 after 3 and 74 for 6.
क्रिकेट है
तो लेज है।
मॉडल वाले बालों के लिए मॉडल वाला शैम्पू। फॉर हेयर फॉल पैंटीन इज माय चॉइस।
इसमें है फर्मेंटेड राइस वाटर और प्रोविटामिन फॉर्मूला जो सिर्फ 14 दिन में हेयर फॉल कम करे। पैंटी।
हमारे पैनल पे मौजूद पाकिस्तान के कई मयारी हॉस्पिटल्स आपके लिए बेशुमार बीमारियों का बेहतरीन इलाज मुमकिन बना रहे हैं। इसीलिए इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ जुबली लाइफ से।
ये हुई ना बात, आगे बढ़ो, खुल के बैंकिंग करो। बैंक अल्फा, द वे फॉरवर्ड।
See? In recent times, when South Africa's needed a fourth fast bowling option, they've tended to go Maharaj over Shamsi.
Shamsi's had a bit of a rough time the last few games that he's had. Against India, he really looked to take him on a bit. It's a perfect opportunity for him now with Bangladesh 6 down. It gives him an opportunity to bowl with a little bit of confidence. It's almost like the analogy when you're hunting, you know, with the animals where the mother lets the babies do a little bit of learning how to hunt on their own, you know, with the prey, and Shami's doing that now to the tail ender just to get his confidence back a little bit.
They tend to be characters, these wristies, don't they? Imran Tahir was a bit of a character. Tabrez Shamsi.
Imran Tahir, the fittest guy on the team, he ran laps around the field every time he took a wicket.
Just as well the stadiums are closed. They might have to summon him from outside.
Someone taking a picture of him at Sydney Harbour Bridge in the Opera House, celebrating, and then back to the field. Imran Tahir, what a wonderful bowler.
Then Jim Courier jumped into the air after he won the Australian Open. Right, what do Bangladesh do here? They need 130 from 50 balls. They just keep knocking it around and hope that the net run rate isn't as bad as it could be if they tried to get those runs quickly and got bowled out early. Really, it's one option. Neither option is particularly attractive at the moment.
Yeah, difficult position.
Lost yet another, and a wicket for Tabrez Shamsi.
Yeah, Shammo getting his second wicket here. Sohan going for it. Not enough battle.
To bring you a world-class journey, we dreamed higher. Qatar Airways, going places together.
मिर्चें तो अब सबको लगेंगी क्योंकि मैकडॉनल्ड्स लाया नया हॉट एंड क्रिस्पी बर्गर।
थम सके ना जो बने वो तूफान, आजा बने वो तूफान। सारा खून पसीना और ये जान जुनून के नाम।
Should get two quite easily.
Yeah, Tabraiz Shamsi getting his second wicket. Sohan looking to take on that boundary. We've seen a lot of batters take on that boundary today successfully. Riley Rousseau is one of them. He hit a lot of sixes in that area today. Anrich Nortje grabbing a good catch on the boundary.
They got off to a dramatic start with Shoma Sharkar hitting 2 sixes of Kagiso Rabada. And then thereafter, Heinrich Nortje came on in the third over. He was just too quick and too fast and too straight. You know all about that.
Yeah, I'll leave it to them now, but yeah, Heinrich Nortje bowled 150 kilometers an hour really quickly today. I think one of his quickest balls, 153 Ks. Bowled nice and fast, bowled straight. And you know, in this format, if you miss, he hits LBW, bowled, and a good caught behind. Absolutely wonderful wheels for Heinrich Nortje.
How would Temba Bavuma react if he just knocks him and says, taps him on the shoulder and says, I've got 3 for 4. I could make it 5 for 6 or something, you know?
I'm pretty sure he'd be looking at it right now, and with Bangladesh 7 down, you know, hundreds, they don't come around very often, and fifers don't come around very often either. Good ball by Keshia, not a lot of turn on it, just drifting away. Taskar Mohammed having a little nibble at it.
Can you yank the ball out of Tabraiz Shamsi's hand?
I could never read it out of his hand. I mean, that's why I batted probably 10 or 11.
Yeah, he just seems such an eager cricketer. You'd imagine Shamsi would be there, right, getting ready to bowl the next over. Maybe he'll get Nortje from here.
Very busy cricketer is Tabraiz Shamsi. Loves the celebration, enjoys his cricket, and great guy to have in a team. He's been around the world. He's played in many leagues, and when you talk to, you know, your opponents from all around the world, the West Indies, India, all the teams, they love Shamsi. A very good bowler. Number one bowler in the world for quite a while in this format.
Just a single quiet little over, 6 from it. It's 82 for 7.
दोस्ती की इसी मिठास के लिए बना है कैंडी, जिसमें है ब्राउन और व्हाइट शुगर और कैरामल की खास मिठास। कैंडी में वो खास मिठास है जो किसी और में कहाँ।
हम ना कुछ गलत बताते हैं ना छुपाते, वही कहते हैं जो निभाते। इसीलिए इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ जुबली लाइफ से।
मतलब डैंड्रफ वापस? कल ही तो शैम्पू किया था।
ले आओ हेड एंड शोल्डर्स, इसका बाकायदा इस्तेमाल करें खुश्की के जर्म्स पर असर 100% तक। खुश्की मिटाए, कंधे से बोझ हटा दे।
Let your house glow with WeatherCoat Glow 365. Berger Paints, trusted worldwide.
दोस्ती की इसी मिठास के लिए बना है कैंडी। कैंडी में वो खास मिठास है जो किसी और में कहाँ।
आ गया नया एरियल ब्लू फॉर्मूले के साथ, जो गिराएगा धूल, मिट्टी और पसीने के दागों की हर दीवार।
Such a childlike eagerness about the way he plays cricket.
Taskar Mohammed just stumbling there on that single. I think the spikes got stuck there, and Heinrich Nortje having a go at the bowler's end. And if this hit, I think this would have been out. Very close. Fielding's been quite a feature of this World Cup so far. We've seen some wonderful run-outs. David Miller had a run-out the other day, direct hits, some fantastic catches. That would have been a good run-out too.
He would have been very disappointed if the stumps had been broken with his bat inside but up in the air.
Yeah, those catches, the return catches, they're always difficult, these bowlers. Oh, just fingertips. They do a lot of practicing like that. Spinners, they bowl and they have the fielding coach hit catches back at them. That's the way that they practice the return catches.
It's taken. It's taken. It's a very good catch indeed. Now Tabraiz Shamsi saying, if I can't catch it, why don't you? And there's another wicket for him.
Litton Dust going for another slog sweep here, but not getting as much on it as he'd like. Stubbs dropping one earlier, but not this time. There's been some fantastic catches in this World Cup. This is another low skidder. Sun in the background. Diving forward. It's a fantastic catch there by Tristan Stubbs. Sabraya Shamsi picks up his third wicket. Little dust.
आ गया नया एरियल ब्लू फॉर्मूले के साथ जो गिराएगा धूल मिट्टी और पसीने के दागों की हर दीवार
To bring you a world-class journey, we dreamed higher. Qatar Airways, going places together.
पॉलिसी मैच्योर होने पर क्लेम्स की बरवक्त अदायगी बहुत आसान, इसीलिए इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ जुबली लाइफ से।
वर्ल्ड कप है तो तमाशा तो पूरा पाकिस्तान देखेगा। आज ही वीकली सुपर मैक्स सब्सक्राइब करो और तमाशा ऐप पर लाइव क्रिकेट देखो मस्त होके। तमाशा मस्त वॉच।
He's bowling at a time when the runs were drying up for South Africa. Last 5 overs, as we keep telling you, produced only 29. Now Tabrez, you're going to get one more, almost. Leighton Daz, the last man out, 34 of 31. It was a 57-meter hit. I think Tristan Stubbs will be quite happy having put down a sitter and actually took a really good one now.
हमारे पैनल पे मौजूद पाकिस्तान के कई मयारी हॉस्पिटल्स आपके लिए बेशुमार बीमारियों का बेहतरीन इलाज मुमकिन बना रहे हैं, इसीलिए इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ जुबली लाइफ से।
आ गया नया एरियल ब्लू फॉर्मूले के साथ जो गिराएगा धूल मिट्टी और पसीने के दागों की हर दीवार।
वर्ल्ड कप है तो तमाशा तो पूरा पाकिस्तान देखेगा। आज ही मंथली मैक्स सब्सक्राइब करो और तमाशा ऐप पर लाइव क्रिकेट देखो मस्त होके। तमाशा मस्त वॉच।
ओलिविया, शुक्रिया। मतलब डैंड्रफ वापस, कल ही तो शैम्पू किया था।
ले आओ हेड एंड शोल्डर्स, इसका बाकायदा इस्तेमाल करें खुश्की के जर्म्स पर असर 100% तक। खुश्की मिटाए, कंधे से बोझ हटा दे।
Just never nice.
Is he going to let it rip? He's bowled at an average speed of 147.6 today. Fastest ever in a match for him in his T20 career. But of course, all you fast bowlers, every time you see a tail ender, you just let it go easy, right? You just take 10 k's off your speed, don't you?
I hate to go back to my career, but Johnson never did that. I think he hit me on the head more than any other bowler ever. And it just seemed to get faster when the tail enders came into bat.
It didn't matter. You're still going surfing in Australia. Oh, that's great.
Nokia has been operating really quickly again. Another delivery at over 90 miles an hour. He picked up the ball. Sometimes the runs where one of the most important fielding positions is maybe a backstop. I said it when England played against Afghanistan. When guys are bowling this quickly and Nokia bowling to the tail, and it's very rare that they're going to hit you in front of square. It's often fly over the wicketkeeper.
In all fairness, the batsman Taskin Ahmed has delivered a few himself. He was just flapping at it. I think it's gone a long way. It's one bounce into the boundary for 4. That's a long way from where it seemed it might of the previous delivery. Well played. So Taskin Ahmed gets one in.
Taskin Ahmed, we talk about these small victories, and just a little boundary like this will make him practice his batting a lot more in the nets now. He can go home and say he hit Anrich Nortje, one of the fastest bowlers in the world, back over his head for a one bounce 4. It's a wonderful shot.
149 that was. Direct hit. You could see that the non-striker was always going to be in trouble.
TV umpire to director. We have a review for Rana. Your bus side and angle, please. Better shot of crease, bails removed. Satisfied? My decision for big screen is...
Yes, out is the call. Non-striker wasn't exactly out of his blocks. He wasn't sprinting. It was always going to be short. So yet another wicket goes down. That's Hassan Mahmood gone. And Bangladesh now in all kinds of trouble. Well, it's almost the end.
Safeguard se nahana, germs dur bhagana.
हम ना कुछ गलत बताते हैं ना छुपाते हैं, वही कहते हैं जो निभाते हैं, इसीलिए इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ जुबली लाइफ से।
Let your house glow with Weather Coat Glow 365. Berger Paints. Trusted worldwide.
सके ना जो बने वो तूफान आजा बने वो तूफान सारा खून पसीना और ये जान जनून के नाम मेरी जान
क्रिकेट है तो लेस है।
They've come on the back of a really good start from the fast bowlers. Heinrich Nokia was superb up front, doing most of the damage. Great bit of fielding for Kapisa Rabada. Short cover, charges in. They practice this so much to all the teams around the world. Direct hit, invariably is closer than you think, and it was comfortably short of his yards. There's Hassan. This is an opportunity for Tabraiz Shamsi also just to really back his flight. You often see a lot of the spinners bowling quite flat in the T20 format, but with the tail ends at the crease, prepared to throw it up just the 78 kilometers per hour that last delivery. So looking to get the ball to purchase nicely.
And they've been outplayed in all three departments of the game, Bangladesh. The other thing which comes to my mind is that Shakib Al Hasan not taking that review. But South Africa has been spot on. They bowled quick and didn't give enough room to breathe for the Bangladesh top order.
Yeah, the first 2 overs went according to plan for Bangladesh, didn't they? 26 off those first 2. They're off to a flyer. So there was the introduction of Nokia. That's judged as a wide, comfortably down the leg side. Slog sweep, has he got enough of it? Yeah, he has. Maharaj is the man on the boundary, just turns and watches it fly into the 10th row.
This will come from the bat of Mustafizur Rahman. We saw earlier on it was Taskin Ahmed who belted one. It was the boundary, but this has gone all the way. That was a top shot. Right from the sweet part of the bat has gone the distance, 90 meters. Really good shot.
Swings hard at this one, it's up. Who's going to make the ground? Timur Bavuma's going to get the closest. No one's actually near it in the end. Lands safely, perfectly placed, and that brings up the 100 for Bangladesh.
Yeah, Bangladesh will be disappointed. Good number of fans coming in to see Bangladesh put up a fight. They haven't just been able to do that. And again, trying to get a big shot, just to turn away from Mustafizur.
Carved away, and it's nicely placed. Stubbs will cut it off. But a good over that one for Bangladesh. 10 runs from the Shamsi over, 101 for 9. next game against Zimbabwe, Bangladesh would expect to win that utter, so might be an opportunity to get their World Cup back on track. Zimbabwe just one game so far in the tournament. It's the 12 part of the tournament. There's the bowling figures. Nokia, he was the key for South Africa. Economy rate of just over 3 and a bit. 3 for 10. He really did rip the heart out of this Bangladesh batting performance when they were looking like they were going to mount a challenge. He picked up 2 quick wickets in his first over, the third over of the innings. And can he wrap it up now for South Africa? Swing and a miss around the wicket. It's got 3 men back on the leg side, and mid off and mid on up in the inner ring. So you would tend to suggest that the length, every once in a while, if you slide in that Yorker, angling in at the stumps, try and hit the woodwork. Quinton de Kock struggling with his hand, isn't he? Every ball that he takes, it isn't perfectly in the middle of the gloves. He is writhing in pain. South Africa do have the option of Klaasen, so if his finger gets too sore, but he's got himself into the tournament, 2 valuable contributions at the top of the order, 47 not out and 50 today. There's a vital cog in this South African batting lineup at the top.
It's the batting from Bangladesh which has been disappointing. The top order also not coming to party in that close win against the Netherlands. Even today they were 4 down for 47 even after that big over start. So they've got to find a method. They've got to go back and ensure that when they get an opportunity, next opportunity is against Zimbabwe. So Bharat will need to be at their best and ensure that they have a good start, the top order.
There is the stumps. It's castled eventually. He gets his line and length perfect, does Heinrich Nokia, and finishes off the Bangladesh innings and finishes with fantastic figures of 4 for 10. His best figures for South Africa in T20 World Cup cricket, and also the best figures for Heinrich Nokia in T20 International. So a comfortable win for South Africa, a quality performance. 205 they posted. They bowled Bangladesh out for 101 and win the game by 104 runs.
It was a massive win for South Africa, winning by 104 runs.
Bangladesh's biggest defeat in all their T20 internationals that they have played, and it's South Africa's second biggest win in all the T20 internationals that they played. No wonder Mark Bouch is smiling. Some real good weather conditions to end the game. It was under a bit of a threat earlier on in the day. The rain had presented itself once again, as it has in the tournament so far.